translations. So translations are when we move things up and across or down and back, something like that. So in order to describe a translation, that comes in the form of what's called a vector. So this looks a bit like coordinates, but instead we have one part on the top and one part on the bottom. The part on the top relates to whether we're moving forwards or backwards. The number on the bottom relates to whether we're going up or down. So if the number on the top is positive, that means we move in this direction. If the number on the bottom is positive, that means we move up. If the number on the top here is negative, that means we move backwards. And if the number on the bottom is negative, then that means we move downwards. Now, it's not always negative and negative. It can be a mixture. That's just to explain how it works. So let's have a look. Here's our first example. So we've got a triangle here, okay? And they tell us here that we need to translate it by the vector 5 minus 6. So that means it's got to move forward 5 and down 6. So the best way to do this is just to pick the points. So we start here, and if we move this one across 5 first of all, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and down 6, that's going to come all the way down to there. So that's that point. So now let's take this point. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we're going to go down 6. So we're going to end up here. You can double check that. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 space there. So this last point here, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 down. And then if you join up your points with a ruler, obviously when you're doing it yourselves, then we get our new translated shape. So it's just been picked up, moved across and down in this particular case. Here's the next example. So I've got a little rectangle just down here, and this time they tell us to translate it 7, 5. So that means we need to go 7 forwards and 5 upwards this time. So let's pick this point here. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, because this is such a simple shape, once you've got that first corner in, you can then just simply draw in the rest of the shape to go with it. If it's more complex, a bit like that triangle one, then I suggest you do all the points and then join it together. So this is our translated shape, which they've said to call B in this case. So quite straightforward really. Okay, so in this example they've already done the two shapes. What we've got to do is do the vector. We've got to work out how it's moved. I'll do a bigger version of theirs there. Okay, so we're moving A to B. It does matter obviously which way round we're doing it. So if we think about the top bit first of all, that's about how far it moves and which direction. So A has moved backwards to get to B, so that means it's going to be a minus here. So how far has it moved back? Well, let's just take this line here. This line's on the 4, this one's on the 3, so it's moved back 1. Okay, now we've got to look at the up and down. So A has clearly moved up to get to B, so that's going to be a positive number on the bottom. How far has it moved up? So again, if we take the bottom line here, it's moved up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up. Make sure you compare like with like on both shapes so that you get the right numbers. So the vector is -1 on the top and 5 on the bottom. Let's do another one. So same idea again. We've got our two triangles here. and it's A goes to B again. So we've got to, it says describe fully the transformation. So this time we actually need to tell them that we know it's called a translation as well. So translation, and then we need to give them the vector. So let's look. In the across direction, which is what we have on the top here, it's gone backwards. How far has it gone backwards? So I'm comparing this line to this line. So it's gone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 backwards. So that's a -5. And then it's gone down. So I'm going to compare this line to this line. So it's gone down 1, 2, 3, down. So that's -5, -3. So that is translations for you.